We are talking today about how to look at a 90-day period of time and make $100,000. Who's ready for that? This is the one you don't want to miss, okay? This is the one you don't want to miss because it's really quite easy to do, right? We just have to have a plan. And I think when I do this over and over and over again, it's just a matter of not having a plan. I see Twin Cities. Hi, Gail. And Duke, you're in Dallas, Fort Worth. Are you at Abbey Holiday, Duke? Where is Duke? I'm guessing you're at Abbey, but maybe not.
No, Abby, I know plenty of Abby agents.
Sorry. Sorry, I have a huge group of people that join. I did a bunch of work there. Duke, where are you out of? What company?
Where do I live?
No, what company are you with?
Oh, Better Homes and Gardens.
Nice, a great company. Also, we love Better Homes and Gardens.
Yeah.
And my Boston people, I love how they say it. Liz, I'm going to make you a co-host. If you guys are tuning in for the first time, welcome to Sherri Johnson Coaching. Welcome to our Catalyst Coaching. We brought this program to you. It is free. The goal is that I'm going to help you today change your mindset, teach you how to look at literally a 90-day period and say, how can I go from 0 to 100,000 in 90 days? That sounds crazy. It might sound crazy, but it's being done. It can be done. Your mindset is going to dictate whether you are able to do this or not. So when you get off this call today, I want an action plan. If you don't put an action plan in place, you just sat here and listened to me talk for 45 minutes to an hour, which is great. And I love you for it, but I'm more impressed when you put this stuff into actual action, because that is the difference between people who get results and people who don't. And so it makes me crazy. It makes me crazy, you guys. And I may have said this last week. I've just been saying it, and I think I'm gonna do a podcast on it. If you say things over and over, you start to believe them. They become true. They become your reality. They actually dictate whether you're going to have any success or not. So if you are looking at this and you're already like, this girl's crazy, this woman's nuts. I've heard her before. She's a little crazy. I am a little bit, but like good crazy. Like, what are you capable of doing? When you say I'm part-time, I don't think any of you say that out loud, hopefully. But when people say, well, I'm a part-time agent, I go, yeah, you get part-time results. Actually, you've actually told yourself enough times, subconsciously or consciously, that message. And that messaging is negative, and that's why you're getting the results you're getting. You just keep saying, I keep doing things. I'm in a cul-de-sac. It's not happening. Nothing's happening. Well, that's over. So you're going to get into action today. We're going to take you from here to there, but I need your cooperation, right? Like my coaching and these strategies, without your cooperation, and more importantly, I want you to write this down, execution. You have to execute or nothing's going to happen. It's going to be another great webinar you sat on or another great coaching class that you participated in. And you're going to be like, oh, that was great. And then you're going to go back to status quo. So draw a big line. I want you to write the word status quo on your piece of paper and make a circle around it and then do the X on it. Okay. There's no more status quo. Not happening. And that's only going to happen if you abolish it. If you say, I don't want the status quo anymore. I want to make $100,000. By the way, I do this exercise with people all the time and they make more than 100. Some people, it takes them 4 months. That's okay. That 4-month plan is just as good as the 3-month plan because you have a plan. I was on a call with somebody this week and I was like, I think it might've been Tori. And I said, your year does not have to, it's already, like we're May 1 right now, right? April's over. You might say, this goal seems a little crazy to try to do between now and December. That's okay. You can go May 1 to May 1. Nobody knows except you, right? And me for telling you to do it. Yes. What could we push ourselves to do between now and the end of the year? Of course. That's why this 90 days to 100K is so, I don't know. I hope it got your attention. The point of it is to get your attention and get you to act. And I swear to goodness, when we don't act, That is like the saddest thing in what I see. And it's always what I see. People don't act. Okay. And I don't get to coach those people. I mean, I coach them. I don't know that they do anything with it. I'm pulling on my slides right now. I don't know what they do. The conversation always ends up being, did you have any appointments this week? I'm going to ask you that question right now. If you had an appointment or 2 or 3 or 5, right on. That's what you need to have. Appointment sales happen because of appointments. That's the only way you're going to sell anything is with a face-to-face appointment. But we don't focus on appointments. We sit around and we say, well, maybe someone will call me from this mailer. Maybe, maybe someone in my sphere. I don't have time for maybes. Neither do you, especially if you want to hit $100,000 in revenue income for yourself in 90 days. Okay. So I'm going to show you exactly how to break that down. It's literally an easy math formula. And I want some of you, oh, yes, Lena. Lena knows what's going on. I hope I'm saying your name right. Lena. I don't see you on the screen, but I see your name. Hold on. I don't even see her. Where is she? Oh, there you are. And it says, yes, I do. I just don't know the address yet. That is right. You have an appointment. If your job is to recruit people, you have a recruit. You just don't know their name yet. Okay. You have a listing appointment or a sale. You just don't know the address yet. That is mindset. That's going to dictate. I was talking to somebody about running half marathons and running. And they were like, I don't run marathons. Not yet anyway. I don't even know that I want to, but I never sought out to run 13 miles in my life. I wanted to run 2 miles without stopping. And then I wanted to run 3, then I did 3, then I did 5. I sort of plateaued at 5. You know what 5 is? 5 is the equivalent of the 10 to 15 million that you've been at for the last 6 years. Okay. That's my in running world analogy. I got to 5 and I was like, 5 is easy. I'm not even going to put my shoes on to run less than 5. Okay. Now I know Cornelia, you're laughing at this because she's a good runner, but here's the deal. I was like addicted, but I never thought I could break through anything. They were like, oh, you're going to run half marathons and be one of those people. I said, no, I'm not. That's crazy. Which is how some of you look at top agents. Oh, that's crazy to do 52 units a year. No, it is not. Actually, it's financial freedom and it's pretty amazing. So I went out and I said, oh, maybe I could do 8 miles. And I went outside and I ran 8 miles in my hometown here in Sugar Falls, Ohio. And you know where I'm at. And I ran to the Starbucks right by the huge waterfall. And I took off. And from mile 5, 6, 7, and then to 8, I'm like, this is so easy. I could keep going. I actually was like, oh my God, I could run another 5. I could do 13 miles now. Okay. I never would have thought that had I not run 8 miles. And some of you are sitting there thinking, I can't do 24 units. Yes, you can. I sold 24 houses my first year. Nobody handed me anything. I'm not special. Okay. If I could do that, all of you can do that. If you're already at 20 units, 25, 20, 30 units, you want to break 50? You want to break 100? You want to break 75? Whatever that is, please write it down while I'm talking. I went from 2 to 5 miles, then I went to 8, and then I went to 13, okay? And then I went to 18 miles, the most I ever ran. So income is the same thing. What is your glass ceiling? What is the one thing that's holding you back from doing this? Because we got this one life and we should be running towards it like we're on fire, okay? And I don't want to just motivate you today. I assume you're already motivated because you're here. I can't motivate a satisfied person. Someone's paying your bills. Hunger is the only thing that makes this work. And so that's it. I have kids to put through college. I have all financial responsibilities on me, right? What's your why? What are you tapping into? And does that actually severely, in a fabulous way, motivate you to say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do something until something else happens. I know you can break some glass ceilings in income. It has to come from you. I think we are doing these, by the way, this Catalyst program. I think you all like it. How many of you like this? Every Thursday, 1 o'clock. It's pretty cool. And I just love it. We've got, you know, a nice group. We're doing this as a meeting so that I can see all of you. I also want you to invite friends. If you want to send the link, send the email to a friend. I'd be happy to have them join us. Of course, this is open to all companies, all brands, and all experience levels and years of experience. So whether in production levels. So you have a team, this applies to you. You have, you're a brand new agent, you're going to get something out of this. I have a weird ability, okay? A weird ability to coach people all on the same call and no one's bored. You're going to get something wherever you are in your business life cycle. Put on your notes though, 90 days, arrow 100K. This is about you putting an action plan together. That's it. That's it. Please just know that like everything I'm telling you, I've done myself. I've done it myself and I've helped thousands of agents do this. You want to connect with me, take down my digital card. You can scan that. I'll show it to you again before the webinar is over. We're also giving away some really great, some really great things for you. And I'll give you those links. My team will drop those links in as well. From this little card here, you can download a few things, like the Gold Mine Pipeline is on there, and access to my podcast, which would be great. We are giving away to all of any of you that want to set up a 20-minute coaching call. Now, if you just had a call with me, probably let some other people do that. I'd love to see you again. I probably told you we would have another call. And it's surprising to me, honestly, more than the calls, every call I had this week, people signed up for coaching, which was not the purpose of the call, but I think that says something. You are looking for help. You are looking for guidance. However I can help you on this 20-minute call, go ahead and book it, or wait till the end if you want to hear what I have to say first. I totally get it. Melinda Konkar, now selling over 84 houses a year, has been in coaching since the beginning. She started with us. I think she's in her 5th year, and she has literally built an amazing company. I think she's going to do over 100 units this year. Single agent, no team, right here in Youngstown in Pittsburgh. She's dually licensed. She's a rock star. Unbelievable success. And again, this is another, when you look at putting an actual strategy in place, okay, the make 50 grand at your next open house is a strategy. It's not wishful thinking. I had a manager at one of my last companies say, you know, this thing doesn't work. There's no way you can make 50 grand. I did it as an agent for years. What I mean by this concept is you are going to do the open house and pick up $50,000 or more of potential revenue that goes on your gold mine pipeline. That's the concept here. Okay. You didn't make 50 grand from one house, obviously, unless it was $1 million property. We're talking about the potential business that you get, but it comes from having either a strategy or not having a strategy. So when you write down right now, strategy, do you have a strategy in place to generate leads, to prospect? It's, you know, to be a listing agent. That's being strategic. I'm looking at a guy on this call, became a listing agent through coaching, became a listing agent because you made the mind shift, Art, to say, I want to work more with sellers. So if you're out there right now and you're just doing buyers always, you got to really take a look at that. There's so many more positive things that come from working the listing side of this business that are amazing. We'll see that in a few minutes, but download the podcast. This is the retired podcast. It's called You Rock. Sherri Johnson, a real estate podcast, 300 and some episodes, unbelievable content. People tell me they sell houses from it. Please go get this, listen to it. Our new podcast is launching within a month, and it's the Sherri Johnson podcast. It will be out. You'll all get an email. We'll tell you how to get it. It's going to be so fun and exciting, and my team and I are working really hard to produce that, and we're going to have interviews, and there are interviews on the original edition, the OG of the You Rock podcast that's out there. Check it out. You can watch them or listen to them, and you can watch them from going to my website. And the podcasts, you can just listen to them, but you will love this content. I know you will. Now, I want you to write these 2 words down. and I want you to draw a line. I will blank until blank. Now, I'm assuming you're all taking good notes. I see you looking down, and I want you to write this down. And I want you to, throughout the session today, I want you to realize there are things that you have to do to ensure other things happen. Like if you want to make $100,000 in 3 months in new closings, I'm not talking about closed business, new business, new under contracts in 3 months, $33,333 a month to be exact. You have to do something in order for that to happen. Take that challenge with me right now. Okay. And it requires us to say, I will do this until this happens. Now, I will give you the first clue or the first hint or the first task, because it's one I give everybody, which is I will make X calls. I will make however many calls I have to in a day to get 4 listing appointments for this week. Some of you writing that one down, it's a good one. You get 4 listing appointments a week, you're going to sell a lot of houses. Some of you are like, well, how do I get 4? Have the first goal is to fill your calendar with appointments. That is one of the game-changing strategies here. But you have to do something until something happens. You cannot, here's the alternative. Agents say, well, I sent out some postcards. Yesterday, I said to an agent, I don't know if you think these, all these letters, you're just waiting for somebody to call. I gotta be honest with you, that's not gonna happen. It might happen, and if it does, it'll be great. It'll show up like a blue box from Tiffany's with a white bow on it, and we'll be like, yes, the micro farming worked, or yes, my postcard campaign worked, right? I can't wait for that, though. I don't have time to wait. I said that in the beginning of this. I don't have time to wait, so we have to go make it happen. Making it happen is different than waiting and hoping it happens. Like there's no way we can sit back and say, gee, I hope once somebody in my sphere calls me. That's not going to happen. If it happens, great. In the meantime, you have 4 deals you need to close every month rather. I want you to write down some crazy numbers today. You put down 100 grand in 3 weeks, 3 months. Maybe you're going to also write down, say, Sherri, I've never made 400 grand. Well, why couldn't you? I never ran 13 miles either, 13.1 miles until I did it. Actually, until I did 8. So we got to stop selling ourselves short. I think you have some kind of a voice in your head or some kind of, and I do, I have the fear of failure. I have the, you're not, so-and-so said you couldn't do it. I don't know if you're like me, but when someone says I can't do something, I do it. I do it 3 times over, right? So whatever is in there that is fear-based or telling you can't do something, I need it to be gone. I need you to get the people in your life. Sometimes it's the people in your life that are the problems. We're listening to them. No more. There is such a thing called a to-do list. There's also a thing called a stop doing list. How many hours of time could you get back if you made a stop doing list? And what could you write on that stop doing list? I mean, think about this. Scrolling, Facebook, Instagram, Netflix. I don't know. What's on your list of things to stop doing? Wasting time talking to people that don't fill you up, fill your life up. I want those things on a list, and then I want you to add up the hours a week that you just got back from getting those things. Does that sound good? You know what happens, right? Do you know what happens when you do this? Like amazing things happen when you get these things out of your life. You free up more time for yourself to be focused on the things you want to do, which is go on more appointments, be sharp, get on, your A game and make this happen. So part of my entire program, not part of, basically the entire Sherri Johnson coaching program is built on the concept because I had a lot of sales my first month. I had a lot of sales my first month in the business. Okay. I had a lot of sales my first month. And what happened was that 5 sales in 1 month, my very first month in real estate. I didn't buy leads. I didn't do anything. I had 1 listing that I sold myself that turned into, right? Those people had a house to sell. So I sold it myself. That's 2. They had a house to sell. That's 3, because it sold in the same month. And then I picked up a buyer and sold him another house in the same month in January. Okay. My first month in real estate. And the 5th deal came from a guy I went to, I've known since 2nd grade. Somebody in my sphere. Thank God he bought a condo from me. So 4 sales came from 1 house. Now you are reading the screen and it says, how do we sell 3 to 5 homes from every listing? Please write this down. 3-5 homes from every listing. Please stop listing a house on Monday. It sells by Wednesday. You don't have an opportunity to do an open house. That's just not smart. Leverage that house. The purpose of listings is to create more listings, more buyers, more referrals. Okay. This is being strategic. This is not hard stuff. These are not hard concepts. You just don't know them. Okay. 90 days to 100K starts with, what am I going to do? How do I break this down into quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily goals? Like, you have to have a plan, right? We can't just say, hey, I hope I do this. I have to say exactly what I'm going to do on a quarterly, monthly, weekly basis. Okay. Like, the nice thing about some of these books I'm going to show you is that they drive you to think differently. Coaching is transformative. I want to transform your behavior. That's what I do for a living, right? Now, if you don't have these goals, the 7 steps to success to get there is, number 1, we have to set some 10x goals. 10% of an increase is 10%. That's nothing. 10% of 10 is 1, right? Now we're at 11. What's 10 times 10, right? When you 10x something, it's way bigger than 10% increase. 10% increase is not even worth writing on the paper. But when you 10x something, and then here's the thing, it's not just saying the goal. Write this down. You need to have a 10x action plan. Your actions have to be 10 times more. Instead of making 5 calls a day, try to make 50. What would happen if you made 50 calls a day? I don't know. You use my scripts, you're going to have a lot of sales, right? You have a lot of appointments. 10x actions. We have to do 10 times more work, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's not just going to happen. You got to have 10 times more people on the pipeline. Every time I do the Gold Mine pipeline with an agent for the first time, they say, oh my God, I have at least 4 to 5 times what I normally sell in a year on the pipeline. That's worth doing. Okay. If you haven't done that yet, please grab a copy of the Gold Mine pipeline from me or email us. Go to my website, download it. We have to have an intentional focus and tenacity. And I love that word. Tenacious and tenacity. When you will do something despite any roadblocks, it doesn't matter. I know it matters what's going on in the world. I care about what's going on in the world. That's not going to dictate whether I'm going to be successful or not. That's the mindset you have to be in, okay? If you don't time block the money hours and put this stuff on a calendar, it's never going to happen. 80% of your week should be lead generation. I know that sounds crazy. You're like, but I have to close these other deals. Here's your problem. You are counting the deals you have in closings. Every agent says to me, oh, I have 6 closings right now. I'm like, that's awesome. Yay, fabulous. I love it. And then the next question I say freaks them out. I say, where are the next 6 coming from? And they go, they look at me literally with their eyes wide open and they're like, I haven't thought of that, right? Well, I know. That's why you're on a roller coaster ride of income. Financial roller coaster ride is horrific. That happens at every level, whether you're at 3, 8, 12, 20 million. Everybody's on the financial roller coaster ride because you don't have enough future business on the Gold Mine pipeline. Gold Mine pipeline is literally going to de-stress you. It's going to give you this feeling of, I have it in the pipeline. I was on a coaching call with an agent in DC this week, and I wish I recorded it. It was so great. She was like, She was like, this is my business I'm gonna do, Sherri. She was like teaching it to me, and it was so cool. She was like, these are the people that I'm gonna sell a house to. And she said she's been in the business 25 years. She said, I've never actually monetized. She said, I just called them the Smiths and the Jones and that house and this. And in my head, they were just personalized as people. Now I have it as an actual potential volume goal that I've never looked at it this way before. She said, I am obsessed with it. I said, thank you. You got it. You actually just couldn't have described it any better than myself, right? I sat in my condo freaking out after those 5 sales, and I was like, where are my next 5 sales going to come from? It's great what you have happening, but we have a tendency to not time block lead generation as a priority. It needs to go on your calendar right now. At least 3 hours a day until you have so much business, right? That you have, I don't know, a lot of business on your pipeline, future business on your pipeline. If you don't set appointments, the system is not going to work for you. So you have to set appointments. Nothing is going to happen. Okay. Nothing will happen. I'm pretty unapologetic, pretty straightforward. And I'm saying this all out of love to be that coach that like pushed you in sports or whatever. Remember that person? And if we don't track and measure how many appointments you're going on or what's on your pipeline, again, these things are to no avail. Nothing will come out of this. There's this really great book. I don't usually give out books because I think you're asking me for content, but this book is great. And it is a fantastic way to look at your business, look at your life, look at all the areas of your life. We coach to your entire well-being. We don't just coach to financial goals. My goodness, that's horrible, right? Work-life balance, that is a thing, right? And you can have it all. And this book is actually by Hal Elrod. It's called The Miracle Morning. It's not the 5 a.m. Club. It's a different book. It's a good one, but this one is not the 5 a.m. Club. What this is going to do is have you do 6 things a day that are going to change your life. You will play more offense. You will get more done and accomplished because you will be on offense instead of working reactively on a reactive notion when you wake up and you're doing the first crisis of the day. Instead, you will be working proactively and you'll be playing offense. And that's what I love about it. This has an app, and, Robert Kiyosaki's wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, another great book. You'll love this book, okay? And get the app and do it and start the daily activity and habit of doing this. You're going to thank me, guys. Don't get the one that's for real estate agents. I mean, I know the guy who did it with them actually is a good friend of mine. But I think this one is the original one. And it's just, for me, it's the best one. Okay. It's going to change your life. The second one is the 12-week year. We're doing the 12-week year in this $100,000 concept. Okay. And this is where you're going to have to say, oh, I don't have 12 months to do 24 sales, Tori. Like, I mean, we're still going to do that and we can, but here's what I'm going to say. What if you did it in 12 weeks? What if the year ended in 12 weeks? Like the fourth quarter of the year is always the second best quarter. There's a reason for that. The year's about to be over. Everybody has a more sense of urgency at the end of the year. Why don't we have that sense of urgency right now in the second quarter? Because we have the whole year, Sherri. That's why. So I want you don't have to go read this entire book, but if you just listen to the first, what it says on the cover, get more done in 12 weeks than others do in 12 months, than you would have in 12 months. I love it. This is firing me up right now. I have a goal in 100 meetings in 90 days. Now, I had 54 meetings in a month. So I'm about to triple that goal. Now, what could you do? What could you do if you had a different mindset and then you put it into action? That's all we're doing. Okay. Action is the key. Now, I've got these sheets. If you're in coaching, this is all part of the business planning courses. These are where you can find those docs. But if you're not in coaching, we'll give you access to this to get it through the playbook. But when you write down, where do you see yourself at the end of the next quarter, end of the third quarter, end of the fourth quarter. Where do you see yourself next year? 1, 3, 5 year? How will you feel? What if you wrote down, this is what I'm going to do with the earnings? Pay off some crazy debt, maybe pay for college for somebody, maybe put an addition on your house, maybe buy a boat. I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do. Maybe it's travel. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. We've got some great documents, whether in coaching, not in coaching, or you just want to grab this through the playbook to figure out how many units you have to sell to hit your numbers. And we come up with 3 levels of goals. That's how I coach people. You have a have to, a goal, like a have to, what would be great and what would be amazing, or the sky's the limit. And that number is the crazy goal. Like, I want you to put a goal down there that you think, oh my gosh, that is crazy. I could never do that. Yes, you can. I never thought I could, make $500,000 till I did it. I mean, I have people that want to make 7 figures. We do it. So if you're not getting like scared or crazy or think a goal is crazy, it's not big enough. Why are you selling yourself short? We've got a great way to map out your year through this game plan. This is what I want to see on a whiteboard in your office. Get this thing, the blank version of it, get it printed huge on a poster at FedEx Kinko's, laminate that thing so you can write on it with a like a whiteboard and put it up on the wall. Track and measure. That's what's going to make the difference. Okay. Track and measure activities. If you're not tracking the number of appointments you book, everything I'm going to tell you right now will not work for you. Okay. You have to know how many calls, how many wins, what's your conversion rate. When we track and measure something, it improves. When you track and measure it and turn it into another human being, it exponentially improves. It's proven fact. It is a proven fact. When you write something down, the higher chance of success of achieving it. That's why I say make it happen. Okay. And this is people are talking about the SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. I get it. Like, if you have no intention, I don't know what's good. I don't know what to tell you. It's up to you. I can tell you everything to do. Just need you to do it. Just do it. And I heard something the other day on a podcast that the guy was like, stop thinking and start doing. Just do it. Don't stop. Like, I had a coaching call last night. This guy was coaching me. It was unbelievable. And he's like, did you start that thing you wanted to do that you told me about a few weeks ago? I said, no, I haven't done it yet. He said, what are you waiting for? Do it tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'm guilty of this because I want to make it perfect. Okay. It's not getting done. Okay. While I'm making it perfect, it's not getting done. I want you right now to put down listing goal for the week, listing goal, buyer goal for the week, right? Buyer appointments, like new consults, showing them the agreement, meeting with a buyer for the first time. Maybe it's consults for the exclusive agreement. Maybe it's also showing appointments with buyers. Okay. How many buyer appointments can you have a week? How many listing appointments can you have a week? And I'm not talking about the one where they sign the papers on the listing side. I'm talking about anything at all where you are actually going to talk to them about potentially selling a house. Okay. That's what I want you to put on there. If that is not on your list, I don't think it's gonna happen for you. Okay. You need to have that. If you don't have it, you're not going to have any of the things I'm about to talk about. We have to look at what is the average. So go back right now. I'm pulling up another screen. I want you to go back and I want you to write down your average sale price right now for me. What is your average sale price? What is the average sale price in your market? Okay. Because that's going to be potentially different. That is going to be potentially different. And Liz, do I have that PDF in my text? I think I just have the slide. I need to get here, I'm just going to pull it up. So we have to be like So specific. Your goal number is going to be what you make per deal. Write that down and then write down $100,000. And I want you to think about, divide that right now and ask yourself, how many houses do I have to sell, right? How many houses do you have to sell to hit $100,000 based on your average sale price? Okay. Now, for some of you, that's going to be a low number. For some of you, it's going to be a higher number. Okay. It just depends on what you make per deal. So I'm going to demonstrate that right now and show you this screen. So this is available. How do I get us back? Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Yes, I hope. All right. So 90 days to 100K. I want you to write down exactly $100,000. And then I want you to determine what your average commission is. We're going to work based on GCI first. Then you can calculate what you make per deal personally. Okay. So obviously we need $33,333 per month, or let's call it $34,000 for $102,000 of earnings. Depending on your average sale price, this will dictate how many sales you need to hit. Okay. For example, and one of my examples right here is if you make a $3,000 compensation fee on a $400,000 house, $12,000 GCI, it's $12,000, right? GCI. If you make 70% of that, your average commission earned is $9,000. So 100,000 divided by 9 is 11.11. We need 12 deals. Divide 12 deals by 3 months. I would just need 4 transactions, okay? 4 transactions a month. If you list 4 houses and your days on market is less than 30 days, those 4 houses, 3 out of the 4 will probably sell, right, Art? 3 out of the 4 will sell if that's accurate. If one is overpriced, okay. If one, you list it at the end of the month, it's going to roll into next month. All those factors have to be taken into account here. But let's say you have a list goal of 4 and a sales goal of 6. Who's with me on that one, right? I need 4 negotiated contracts at the end of each month to hit 100,000 plus. Okay. I give you a couple of examples. If your average sale price is 500, if it's 400, if it's 300, right? If it is 200,000, in fact, my 400 example I just did was three transactions per month, actually, on GCI only. And the example on top, I did give that to you in terms of agent earnings. So you can base it either way. I don't know what your commission rates are. It's all across the board. We have different brands here, all of it. So define the goal. What do you have to make? How many units in a 90-day period? Okay. And then divide by 3 months. Okay. That's it. That's the hardest part we're going to do here. Everybody with me? Now, we're just breaking it into 12 weeks, $100,000 into 12 weeks. I am so excited because I know some of you are gonna do this. These worksheets are meant to help you stay focused. If you are not focusing on lead generation every day, you will have a roller coaster ride of income. Okay. What are your priorities? Now, that call that I told you, you'll get all of these documents. If you book a 20-minute call with me, or if you just had a call with me or in coaching, you have access to this stuff. So new people, not in Sherri Johnson Coaching, if you want these docs, we'll give them to you. Just book a call with me. We'll go over it. Here's what I want you to look at. Follow-up, priorities. What are the dollar-producing activities I'm going to do this week? That is way different than you sitting around doing paperwork. The removal of contingency can wait. Unless you're, at the end of the hour and it's due. But if it's not due till like 3 days from now, whatever you are doing right now to generate leads is the most important thing you're doing. So I beg of you, to realize you have to focus on the dollar activity you're doing in that moment. Before we get off, I'll show you why that's so important. Service calls are different than new generation lead calls. It's easier for you to call a current client, isn't it? You've been talking to them. That's so easy. Hey, I had a guy call me. I sold him a house. I was in another house with a different client, and his name was Adam. And I answer the phone, you know, I'm like, hey, Sherri Johnson. And he goes, hey, Sherri, it's Adam. And this is what he says to me. He goes, I know you're not making any money on me. I already bought a house from you. And I was like, I don't think that at all. Because I don't, right? And he's laughing. He goes, Sherri, I'm in sales. You should be selling your next house. I already bought a house. I still was horrified, okay? Because I don't want anyone to ever think that. But what he taught me was actually true. How many of you are spending 45 minutes on a call that should have taken 10? Okay. How many of you are over servicing people because time expands into your day? You don't have 5 closings. So the 3 closings you have are taking up your entire week, preventing you from doing lead generation. Let's be honest. You're not doing the new generating lead calls because you're telling yourself, I have to do this other work that's more important. I'm not saying don't deliver Ritz-Carlton level customer service on the closings. But if I told you guys that you could sell a house a week, which by the way is a strategy and a course in my catalog of courses in the academy, a house a week is 52 sales a year. And I saw this woman from Smythe Kramer Company in Cleveland, Ohio, had an ad that said, I sell a house a week. And I was like, I want to sell a house a week. That's what I said, right? I mean, I actually saw the ad and I was like, I want to sell a house a week. And I sat there with my gold mine pipeline and I was like, how am I going to make this happen? Now I had already sold 27 houses the first year. My goal was to double. I was already at a 50 plus, right? I just had never said it was a house a week. What you have to say, because you're out there going, well, I would rather do less and, you know, give better. So I gave phenomenal service. So do a lot of agents on the call right now that are doing 50 plus. It's not about that. It's how do you use your time, right? If I gave you 52 actual bona fide leads and I said they're all going to list and buy with you, every one of them, how many of you would figure out how to make that happen? Like we all would. You all would figure out how to sell those. You'd spend less time with people. I'm not saying shave off important contact info, that like consulting info you have to give people. I'm saying you have other people you have to go service, just like Adam told me. Get on to your next deal, right? Set a priority that prospecting is the number one thing you do. So on your piece of paper, I want a P. Below that, I want an L. Below that, I want an S. And that stands for prospecting, listing, sales. That's it. All right. So I love this worksheet. The reason I love this worksheet is it reminds you of my phrase, I will until. So you got to put that in the oval, and that's your goal. And you don't stop, right? And you don't let anything interrupt the money hours unless it is a family member or a real emergency. Turn off your cell phone. Turn off the notifications, please, from social media so you're not tempted to look at it. Turn off the email notifications. Just zone in. I will do blank until I get blank. And again, my best advice on that one is I will text, call, door knock, communicate, engage with as many people as I need to get 4 appointments for listings and 4 buyer appointments for this week. Won't you be so happy? Oh my gosh, you're going to call me and say, I can't believe you. You're going to be like, I hate this girl. I love this girl. I've had people say that to me. It's great. They were saying it cute. All right. So look, connections made and referrals. Hello, time block the week. What day of the week are you going to devote 3 hours a day to doing something to build a schedule full of appointments? That's it. All I need you to do. Now, I'll define a listing appointment real quick. You can meet with somebody. I would prefer that you're going to see their house. We have scripts on that. We have talk tracks that will help you get an appointment every single time. It's not the appointment that they're going to list per se. It's the one where they're talking about listing ahead of time, right? Like the pre appointment. 82% of the time, the first person that goes on that appointment gets the listing. So that's why I want you to meet with those B and C people, the people on your pipeline that are 6+ months out. Those people are good leads. You should be meeting with them now. And you say to them, you know what, Lisa, I'm not listing your house. I know that you don't want to list for another 4 to 6 months. That's fine. You need me now, though, right? This is a great worksheet. It's going to keep you focused. It's going to say, I hit my goal of 3 listing appointments this week, or whatever your number is. This one might be my favorite one, because here's what I've done. I am putting together all of my best top lead generation strategies for you to pick from. You don't have to do this whole list. You certainly can't do the whole list, okay? But if you had a goal to add 6 to 8 new buyer and seller leads to your goldmine pipeline every week, right? How many of you could do that? That's easy, right? Grocery store, shopping, wherever you are, family function, open houses. Like, look at the list on the right, okay? Text sprint, call people, whatever. The success checklist, the top, means we are focused, we are time blocked. Check that box, I time blocked the week. Like, time blocking the week is not putting your schedule for the week on there. It's setting the times where you're going to be most productive, doing dollar-producing activities for yourself. Securing appointments. Every day 0 is a great concept. What does that mean? Well, every day we start over. Every day we start over. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday. Doesn't matter. Sometimes I have to do that during the day. Every day 0 resets us. Start like that every single day. I was running through the office one day of my parents' printing company. I sold a really big print job. And this guy who was my mentor, he said, "Hey kid, did you sell something?" And I said, "Yes, I did. Jeff, I sold it was like a huge $50,000 print job, which is a big job in printing." And I was dancing around the halls. I was all excited, just like when you sell a house. And he said to me, I was 24 years old, I think. He said, "Stop celebrating and go make 10 more calls." And I was like, okay. And here's what I learned, right? He said, "You are on fire right now. You just closed the deal." So I want you to do the same thing. When you close a deal, somebody calls you, that you close the deal and you're like, yes, yes, right? Celebrate for 5 minutes and then go make 5 to 10 more calls, everybody. You are on fire. This is fire. You are confident. You are on top of the world. You are winning. You're actually winning, and it's going to be contagious. It's going to lead to, like, go pick up your goldmine pipeline and just make a bunch of calls on it. Who's with me? You gonna do that? Next time you sell a house, or someone says, we're going to list with you, we're picking you, we want you to come over. Yes. And then go make 5 to 10 more calls. So as an agent, I did that and it worked. And I coach it and it works for people all the time. Okay. Same thing. All of this list on the right-hand side, we have solutions for, we have strategies for. Micro farming is not just geo-target farming, but really calling the neighbors and speaking to them, inviting them to a neighborhood open house preview so you can get to know them. Like, stop listing the house on a Monday and it sells by Wednesday. You can't leverage that house. I'm not trying to keep people from showing it. I'm trying to help you leverage it into 3 to 5 more sales. Review your past client list and client list. Go through it. So many times, if you take your client list right now, you've been in the business more than 5 years, anytime, doesn't even matter, 3 years or more. And you get on that list and you circle the people, you're like, gosh, they're out of that house. They have to be. Their kids are gone. House is too big. Circle their names, put them on the goldmine pipeline. Every time we do this activity with an agent, they list and sell houses from this one activity. Going right into your own database and circling the names and putting them on a pipeline for a buy and a sell side. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. The 20 minutes, 20-minute text sprint. Like I give you the script to write on a text and you send that out. We had an agent last week in Houston. She sent out 35 text messages. She has 4 signed contracts right now. Now that's a really fabulous day of texting. Usually it's 70, 60, more than 50. But what if you could engage with 50 plus people from your phone, texting them? They're going to write you back, especially if you ask them a question in your text, right? In the meantime, you're going to say, hey, I'm taking new clients for the spring market. One of your friends, family members, coworkers, or neighbors, I'm happy to help them buy, sell, or invest in the next 2 to 24 months. Let me know who I can help. And by the way, when are you and I going to get together? I'd love to have breakfast, coffee, lunch, a drink, whatever. You ask them a question, they're going to write you back. And the great thing about text is people write back when they want to. You will get business and you will get referrals and you will get people that say, yeah, I was going to call you. Just like this agent did. Shannon in Houston is loving this 20-minute text sprint. It just brought her 4 contracts. Okay. 10 calls to 20 grand. Same idea, but with the phone. You make 10 calls and you make $20,000. You're going to be really happy with yourself. You're going to be really happy with me, but you're going to say, wow, that wasn't that hard. This thing makes outgoing calls. It's your moneymaker. It's really good. Kim, you're laughing. I've said that for years. This thing makes outgoing calls. Please use it. Please use it. This is a great worksheet. Okay. I love this worksheet. It has everything on it and it's just about execution. Like I said at the beginning. Now these other worksheets are great by day to actually block however your mind thinks. We all are different. This is not a one size fits all coaching program, but many of you will say, oh, I don't like this one. Okay. I like to track the success down at the bottom. You write down 4 things that you want to track: calls, appointments, buyer appointments, gold mine pipeline. Like I want to add 5 new clients a week. Okay. Put that on there and then check it off when it happens. Do you see what I'm saying? This will help you. It's a little habit tracker, but it's called tracking your success. This one is also nice. And the reason I love this one is we're going to take it just by the prospecting tool only. In that middle 3rd box where it says prospecting tool, that's where you put in make 50 grand your next open house, or micro farming, or the 20-minute text sprint, whatever it is. And then you say, these are the new calls and results. Here's what on the right-hand side I have to do what's the next action step. Never hang up the phone without getting another appointment, please. I did a whole podcast on that. Like my hairdresser gets the next appointment before I leave her salon. You want to know why? 6 weeks from now, she wants to make sure she's making money. You guys follow me on that? That's why the hairdressers do that. You don't leave without booking another appointment. And she heard me say that one time. She said it's absolutely true. They strategically tell them to do that. So you need to have a next appointment. If we just hang up, like when we're hanging up, we should say, when's the next time we're getting together? Tentatively, can you do Thursday at 5 or Saturday at 10? We can always change it. Then they're not as like, oh, we're coming in. You have to keep the conversation going. You have to stay engaged, okay? Notice in the middle, gold mine pipeline additions. These are the people I'm putting on the pipeline weekly. You can't go a week without filling the pipeline with more people. Okay, that's how this works. So gold mine pipeline is your absolute best friend. And then this one's a really great one too. And this one's going to be 90 days to 100K tracker, weekly tracker for action items on the left-hand side. So whatever those are, and some you're going to do every day, some you're going to circle the day that you need to do that activity. Okay, so an idea could be the 20-minute text sprint. I plan on doing that every day. I might even do it 3 times a day because I get really good results with the 20-minute text sprint. There's a whole course on that in the academy. It's a newer course. So if you've been in coaching a while, you may have missed it. If you're not in coaching and you join coaching or you join the playbook, you can watch that course. But and I give you exactly what to say. This tracker, you just carry this thing around with you every week. Track it. I made my calls. Boom. I did my texts. Boom. I got on social media and connected with people. Right? I did my, you know, neighborhood open house preview on a new listing. I have my open house plan for next weekend. Right? That's not an everyday thing, but if you did something every day to ensure that you're not scrambling and you're doing this on an offensive game plan instead of, winging it or putting it together at the last minute. Do you like these worksheets? You guys like these worksheets? I don't know if some of you haven't seen them before, but this is you don't have to use all of them. But what I know happens is that agents who use these tell me, they're like, it is the best way to track what I need to get done. And that's just it. Like you are about to, it's May 1. I did not pick to have this class on May 1st, by the way. And it's kind of cool that it is, right? We're in the middle of the second quarter. That's okay. May, June, and July. How can you fill the pipeline with people that are going to buy, sell in the next 2 months and go under contract in the next 3 months? If you wrote down your number, raise your hand if you wrote down how many sales you need per month, right? Okay, that's how many sales you need. Right next to that, I want you to put down how many listings you have to list because you also have to list houses. Okay, so if you put down a goal of, I'm going to say 5 sales, you also need to list 4 to 5 houses. Gosh, what would happen if you did that? Right? Instead of, I'm going to list 1 or 2 houses and hope I have a bunch of buyers. I want you to be so hyper strategic. Did you guys write down how many sales you need each week? Right? And then now we go every day. So what's the difference between somebody who makes 25 grand a year and somebody who makes 250? I don't think they're working 10 times harder. I mean, they're working harder. I think they're working smarter. For me, I did the work harder. And then I got hyper crazy smarter. And I said, you know what? I'm going to work smarter, put a system in place. And the best advice I got, one of the most, it sounds so easy, right? Double the number of appointments you go on. For some of you have to do more than double. I had an agent, she's in Cleveland here, and I work out with her in the gym, and she's an agent. I coach her, and she looked at me one day and she said, how many calls do I have to make to get 4 listing appointments a week? And I said, I don't know. I don't know how good you are on the call. I'm going to say that to all of you. I don't know what you say. What's your strategy when you pick up the phone and call somebody? Do you have a strategy? Do you think I'm getting an appointment? Right? Like I'm not getting off this phone without an appointment is how I think. Except I don't come across as, like a piranha or a bulldog. I don't. I sound totally different to a customer. But what's your strategy? If you don't have a strategy, you probably need coaching or something, right? Like work with somebody, go find a mentor, find somebody that you can listen to and get a better strategy. Because if you're just calling people and you hang up, like I want you to tell them the value that you bring. I can come and see your house now and save you time and money on the home repair list. You need me now if you're thinking about moving in the next 6 to 12 months. We can get a lot of the things out of the way. I can save you time and money on the home repair list before you call a contractor. I know what today's buyers like. Right? I'm going to save you a ton of money. I add value. If you add no value, you're not going to get hired. But call the people that are 6+ months out and get an appointment with those people. That's the key. Every lead is a good lead. We have a tendency to think, somebody just told me the other day, these people aren't ready. I'm not going to call them. I said, no, those are the people I want you to call. Call the people who aren't ready. C buyers, C sellers turn into A sellers very quickly, right? Sometimes in a week, right? You're going to go do the time blocking, put the pen to the paper, take a picture of this. You can make it yourself. Time blocking is your actual daily habits of activities. So Sundays, you're going to shade out 12 to 4 for open houses, right? 9 to 1, you're going to shade out for prospecting calls at least 4 days out of the week. And during that time, you do not, if you have to take a listing appointment and it's going to go into your prospecting time, well, you know what I'm going to say. You got to move that prospecting time to another day on the week. It's like working out, only better. Well, it's about the same, right? You can't delete it. You just have to move it. It doesn't get deleted off your calendar. Okay. Are you raising your hand? I think somebody's raising their hand. No. Do you have a question? If you have a question, let me know. I have not looked at the chat in a while. I'm gonna open it up. Ah, I like checklists. All right, Duke. Systems. That's right, Lori. Done is better than perfect. That's funny. That's literally the next slide, I think. And Rhonda, action, execution, practice, practice, practice. Please look at that. How perfect is that, Lori? Funny. Done is better than perfect. Let's stop going into a cul-de-sac of fear of whatever. I don't even know. I call it fear. I don't know what it is. Complacency, boredom. Something's got to light you up and give you that hunger that says, I want to achieve this more than I don't. And that I can't actually like make happen for you. You got to start before you're ready. I love this slide. Start before you're ready. I heard this on a Peloton running app and I was like, God, I don't feel like running today. And you know what? I got going and I ran whatever I ran, 5-6 miles, and I felt like 10 million bucks at the end of it. Okay. You are not going to want to do some of these things. I don't care. You are going to want the results though. You are. And you know, your success becomes really contagious for yourself. You actually begin to create even more success. One thing turns into 3 more things, right? I remember this agent came to me and she was new. And I said, she was, what should I do? I said, go call for sale by owners, go call expireds. She called for sale by owners expireds with my strategy. And she came back and she said, you're not going to believe this. The people who own that house for $220,000, which nobody wanted that listing. It's $220,000 house in Chagrin Falls, cute neighborhood. Nobody wanted it. She got that listing. And she said the people who own it have a 650 house to sell and they're buying. They want me to help them buy up to $1.5 million. See what I'm talking about? So these are the things that unlock and happen for you. One thing turns to another, turns to something else, turns to, honestly, a more confident you. That's what ends up happening. Your confidence is going to soar and you're going to be like, I can do this. Of course I can do this. Why couldn't I do this? In case you didn't take down my contact information, go ahead and scan that again. Actually, I think, Liz, you can drop that into the chat. And then the other thing I want to share with you again is I invite you to start this 90 days to 100K plan. And I invite you to set this first call with me, right? To do your 90-day plan with me. You could actually book this call right now. My calendar books up really fast. If you book this call and you show me your plan, you say, I want to do the gold mine pipeline, whatever you want to do, we'll get a lot done. And I promise you, it will launch you into the greatest real estate year you've ever had, 2025. Listen, I have seen people, and I'm talking specifically to some people I talked to this week. Kathy Thompson, who I spoke to. Where is Tori? Tori, you're still on this call. I see you. Here's the deal, okay? I have seen people do double in the second half, which doesn't start till July 1st, by the way. The second half starts July 1. I've seen people double what they did the first half. So if I'm looking at you, and I am looking at all of you, okay, I know my people, Art, you can double what you did the first half of this year. In the second half, we have people in coaching who say, I did this last quarter, I'm going to double it next quarter. What could you do with a strategic thought and an action plan? Because I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Coaching isn't making you great. It's actually just bringing out the greatness you already have. You already have this. You just have to dig deep inside, okay? And find it, okay? And I'd love it if you book this call, because what we'll do is I'll look at what your 90-day plan looks like. And if you do gold mine pipeline with 90-day, I mean, you're going to get results. That's it. Aren't you going to feel amazing? If you need to sell 7 houses a month to hit this number, so what? Maybe your number is 3. Maybe you sell $1 million properties. I don't know. Some of you, I know what your average sale price is. Okay. But if you write it down and you say, this is what I'm going to do, let's just put a plan in place to make sure that you do it. So execution, I will until. And if you could please go into the chat and tell me, I will blank until blank. Somebody make me feel fabulous and share with me what your I will until statement is. And I would love to see that. So lastly, again, these are the documents. If you book that call with me, we will send this to you, before the call even. So you'll have it. And I promise you, okay, you don't have to use all of these, but maybe you like this one and you like this one. And then when you do something, you use the 90-day prospecting tool to track it. Whatever it is, this combination of documents I know will help you. The last couple of slides, if you have not done coaching ever in your life and you're like, you know what, I want to do coaching, we're going to give you an offer and that is really fantastic today. Oh, by the way, next week's session is how do you get your next 10 listings? I think you're going to want to be here for that. Who's going to be here with me? Next 10 listings. Again, what are some easy to implement strategies to get you 10 listings? If you're in the Cleveland market, I am going to be at Infinity Title next week on the 7th. So hope to see you there. You'll get an invite. But if you're not in the Cleveland market, I'm sorry, you won't be able to see me in person. And I love this. People are telling me I will be more strategic with my time until good habits are established. Lori, that's great. I will track my activities until they are a habit. I work out and run consistently, yet I struggle with tracking my hours of prospecting. Fabulous. Thank you, Kathy. That is awesome. Rock star over there, both of you. And everyone else, please write down your statement. Please, can you just do that? I'm going to drop a link in. I don't have a slide for this, but we're giving you 50% off coaching if you sign up in the next couple of days. Liz, can you drop that 50% off the first month? Sorry, I should have said that, the first month of coaching. We'll put that in. You're going to use code FIRST50. And if you sign up for coaching, I'm going to tell you right now, our average agent makes another $150,000+ in their first year of coaching with us. I only want you to join if you are committed to doing things and you want results. Because I cannot, right? I can't do it for you. And I can't want it more than you do. But once you know what it is you got to do, that's the hard part. We close the gap of teaching you what those things are so you can just go out and execute at a high level and win. And I promise you, between how to do a listing appointment, how to have the best buyers program that I've been teaching for over 28 years, which is literally now what we're all doing, right? My home buyer guide always included, this is how I work, this is how I get paid, here's who pays me. So if you don't have that, our content will be done for you, and it's a lot easier because we take all the guesswork out. So postcards, letters, what to write, to say, talk track, scripts, all that stuff. So 50 off your first month of private coaching. Our programs start at $595 a month, $595 a month. And, our other program is $995. That's probably our best seller. It's the premium package. Liz, if you could drop in there the link to the website for one-to-one coaching while I'm still talking. And I do see some more, intentions, and let me take my slide deck off. I will be more intentional with interactions until I get buyer, seller, and/or referrals in my pipeline. Rhonda, that's what's going on. Rhonda, thank you. Rhonda Barnwell, and I don't know, Rhonda, where are you from? What state and city are you in? And does anybody else have an affirmation statement of I will until Coronado? That just happens to be we're talking like the Hotel Del. That's my favorite place to go. And I'm coming out there. I was on a call with somebody from San Diego last night. And I said, I'm coming to the Hotel Del. It's my favorite. All right. So you guys, what could you do? What are you going to do? Who's pumped up? Make it happen is my motto from Old Life. I'm carrying that forward. Thank you, Paul Westlake. Paul Westlake. Love that. And we have Westlake, Ohio, which is where I used to work and run a big company. And it really makes me smile when I saw your last name. I will work until it is done. Thank you, Kim Myson. Listen, I will make X number of phone calls until I have X number of appointments. That one is my personal fave, and it's on my everyday because I got to go and do the grit and do the grind. And you know what? When we send you this recording tomorrow, I'm going to send you out another offer for that 50 off the coaching program. I think, Liz, we forgot to include one other thing, which is the playbook. And, you know, since you're still on here, I'm just going to take you over to playbook. Here is the playbook. 2 more minutes. That's all I'm going to keep you. Playbook by Sherri Johnson is a online subscription. It does not include private coaching. However, what's great about the playbook is that you get access to the Sherri Johnson Academy. And if you subscribe to the Playbook Plus, you get a free group coaching call with it. So it's $49 a month to just get access to the video library. It is $99 a month for all the whole library of video content plus one included group coaching call, separate from what today is. The group coaching call is actually where we call on you, we talk to you, we say what's on your pipeline, and you answer. Okay, you can activate the 7-day free trial, and that will kick in. There's no contract. You can literally cancel anytime. Or what we like to see, and we see this a lot, people join this because they can't afford coaching right away, and then they go from this to selling a couple of houses in a month or two, and then jump into the pro coaching program, which, by the way, is right here. I was just there moments ago. Coaching, one-to-one coaching, and here's where you can see our programs. Now, take a look at it, however we can help. Again, Liz put that link in there. We will have the link with the, the giveaway 50 off coupon in there in the email. And then we'll also, if you book that call with me, did anybody book a call? Some of you I just had a call with. So if you have not booked the call, go for it. I will see it here in my calendar. And I booked one, Paul Westlake. All right. So my phone is going off, which is telling me that they're booked appointments. All right. I will until everybody next week. Let's go get your 10 listings. I want tenacity. I want you to say, I'm doing this. There's no exceptions. There are no excuses. And please make your list of the things you have to stop doing, because you are going to find another 5 to 10 hours a week, okay, of time that you didn't even realize you had. Maybe it's getting up earlier 1 hour, right? Maybe it's going to bed earlier by 1 hour. Maybe it's like stop binging. It's once in a while is okay, right? I like to watch a good show like everybody. But if I don't have enough listings, I can't watch the show yet, okay? The thing you fear the most is the thing you probably need to do the most. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you with this. You all have it in you. I sound like a Nike commercial. You have everything you need to go make $100,000 in 90 days. I'm here to help you do that. I can't wait to see your results. I'll see you guys next time. I'm Sherri Johnson. Thank you. Have a great day. Have a great listing and sales week, everybody. That's what's what. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.